the part that's not my business is that I've been hearing a lot about this here thing called passport. Uh, uh, I don't know, passport brothers or something like that. And I'm like, what? Yeah, y'all go right on over there and see just what you gonna get and bring back. But then you might bring back just what you want based on who you are. Because what I noticed during a period when they had something called a quote unquote mail order brides, which the white guys were all off into, those women that they brought back pretty much were just subservient, non-thinking, accepted abuse. Yeah, I have a friend whose mom was from an Asian country, and her daddy wasn't nice to her at all. So, and she had to learn the culture from me.
Okay, this right here is absolutely what I've been waiting for. I haven't seen Passport Bros taking over mainstream news reporting yet. I haven't heard anything about the Passport Bros on any of the lamestream media, CNN, Fox, or MSNBC. I haven't heard anything about Passport Bros on Yahoo News or Google News in general up until now. I've been absolutely waiting for this because the thing about it is once something like Passport Bros as a movement goes mainstream, that's when you see the sudden influx of viewers, subscribers, and money based on your videos. Now, as you know, I've been showing you in my community chat the Google Analytics data coming to Yahoo that has basically shown you that not only did my subscriber count vastly increase and it quickly is rising, on top of that, the amount of money I'm making from these videos is rising because all of them are monetized, is why the reason why you see that there's commercials running on them. But on top of that, it's also, cementing my position in Passport Bros as, you remember those commercials where the guy was advocating for hair repair and he was like, yeah, I'm not just a president, I'm the client or something, or I'm not a client, I'm the president or the founder or something. Yeah, well, that's me. So anyway, this is the story and it's in Travel Noire. Why some black women aren't happy with the Passport Bro movement. And it's by R. Pena. I'm not sure who R. Pena is. I don't know if it says anything about R. Pena. Bottom line is, before I even start reading this, because I'm going to read it in length, nobody gives a goddamn what anybody thinks about it. First of all, this is a totally legal and it is a totally ethical thing that Passport Bros are doing. I mean, if you would examine it from the very beginning, you have a bunch of men who are disgusted with the laws and who are disgusted with liberal feminism in America. They've decided that what they're going to do is they're going to take their resources, their money, even in many cases their employment and their jobs, in some cases their pensions, and they're going overseas to greener pastures. They're going to go to greener pastures. They are going to meet younger women that are of legal marriage age. They are going to marry them. Whether they decide to stay in that country or bring them back here, that's their choice. But the bottom line is that's what they're going to do. And they're going to do it, and there's nothing that can stop them because it's completely legal. Now, while on TikTok, you've got a lot of angry strags and degenerates making videos attacking the Passport Bros. The reality is their attacks are falling on mostly deaf ears because the men are still planning to do it. 2022 marked an opening of a number of countries post-COVID that had closed down. During that time, a lot of Passport Bros got their passports. During the shutdown of 2020 and 2021, they got their passports together and they went out and they traveled. I went to Maldives. I went to the Philippines. I'm planning to go to Bora Bora. I'm planning to go to Singapore. I'm planning to go back to the Philippines. The reality is these Passport Bros have money. They have resources. They have finances. These strags have tried to paint the Passport Bros as a bunch of broke dusties who have to go abroad to meet women. The reality is these men are able to afford these trips which points to the fact that they actually have money. There's a number of channels, which I could link you to. BMT, Black Man Travels. There's also Zoom to Thailand. There's, of course, Austin Holloman. And there's a bunch of black men coming online, getting their passports. And they are changing the game. The passport bros are winning, no matter whether you like it or not. The statistics, as I've pointed out in my recent videos, have shown you by 2030, the majority of women are most likely going to be single and childless. The statistics have shown you that for those women who would have normally wanted to go to a sperm bank, that fewer and fewer men are donating, especially black men who account for less than 2% of the available sperm, which means that they're going to be forced to choose between Pookie and Ray Ray semen DNA. I've also shown you what the statistics are showing because these women are all independent ladies. All the ladies independent, throw your hands up in the air. All the ladies get money, throw your hands up in the air. Charlie, how your angels get down like that? Tell me how your angels get down like that. Well, because these women thought that they were so independent while the Federal Reserve had interest rates set near zero, the moment that Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates, all of that independent lady shit, you stopped hearing that all of a sudden. The tires on my car, I bought it. The shoes on my feet, I bought it. The ring on my hand, I bought it. All depends on me. I bought it. All the ladies, independent, throw your hands up in there. They thought it was all cute. They thought it was all fun and games. It's not. At this point right here, it's collapsing before their very eyes. That's the beautiful thing about interest rates. And this is one of the reasons why I always told everybody, make sure you maintain excellent credit. As you know, I have an 850 credit score. I love bragging about it. Because my thing is, as a black male who's 40 years old, my thing is, if I can do it, why can't you? You don't hear me complaining about racism. You don't hear me complaining about sexism. There's a reason for that, because I got my shit together. So I'm telling you like this, if I got my shit together, why couldn't you? I went and got my passport. Why don't you? I went and got my foreign woman. Why don't you? I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear any excuses. And I'm going to brag about it too. I'm about to go get me an electric Cadillac, $70,000 that I'm paying in cash just so I can avoid the interest rates. Why don't you? Why can't you? You know why? Because you're busy on TikTok talking shit. So anyway, you know what? Let me stop diverting. Let me read this story. The passport bros have officially divided our internet. A growing group of thousands of black men that women in other countries are A growing group of thousands of black men is preaching to more men on social media platforms that women in other countries are the best source for a traditional woman to settle down with. Just follow the hashtag and you'll see black men of all ages describing their experiences with the opposite sex in other countries compared to women in the United States. What it is, and then they talk about, what the hell? Passport movement explained, men with options choosing tradition. And then she has a couple of hashtags. I think I might use some of those hashtags. I need answers. Buy rich life. Passport bros. Passport. Women be like. Hashtag make it make sense. Okay, I think I might use some of those hashtags. Most of our content on Travel Noire consists of stories of people traveling and living abroad to find inner peace and happiness as a person of color on this earth. Black people have suffered through so many forms of prejudice in the United States that we've sought other countries to feel like human beings. The passport bro movement could be seen as an annex to the same inner peace and happiness concept. A group of black men who don't feel needed and admired by black women looking for love overseas. They travel to different destinations worldwide and find happiness with a partner of the opposite sex. First of all, I've always taught you that you have to be careful when you accept somebody's premise. First of all, there's a number of black men who have relationships with black women. The problem is that when you're in America and you're under American law, marrying an American woman, having children with an American woman, of regardless the race or color or creed or whatever, it's a roll of the dice. I have multiple properties. I have luxury vacations where I can go anywhere in the world, and I make videos on my YouTube to prove it. I have nice cars, just like the electric Cadillac I'm still waiting for, but GM is taking the goddamn time and they're making us wait until 2023 so I can buy my fucking car. I just want my car. I got the money. I have the money in cash. They won't give me my car. I don't know why they're waiting, but they have a stop order on the goddamn thing. They haven't sold any of them. I want my car. So the bottom line is, we have a lot of these things, but we don't want to risk it. We don't want to risk coming home to a wife who's doing something underhanded, cheating, or doing something. Because you've already seen it. See, my one thing I've noticed is what these women are trying to force you to do is they're trying to force you to accept polyandry. Polyandry is when you have one woman who may have, quote unquote, multiple husbands. Thing about it is most of these men aren't marrying them. So what they're doing is they're having children out of wedlock, and then they're trying to get other men to play stepdaddy. Well, being a stepdaddy is like financing another man's orgasm. Most of these men with intelligence higher than 2 are like, wait a minute, I'm not going to be nobody's stepdaddy. I'm not doing it. Why should I have to accept sloppy seconds? That's what they're asking themselves. Then the passport bros showed them. They said, listen, you ain't got to accept sloppy seconds. You can go overseas and get yourself at least a 7, maybe an 8. There is no such thing as a 10. Sorry to say it. There's no such thing as a 10. The woman scale goes from 1 to 9. There is no such thing as a 10. So you might be able to go overseas, get yourself a 7, an 8. Maybe even if you're very lucky, you could get a 9. The thing about it is, why should you have to accept sloppy seconds? Why should you have to accept these disgusting septum rings and nose rings with boogers and snot dripping down the ring? And you've got to wake up to that. Why should you have to accept? The key is you don't. Why should you accept fake hair? Why should you accept like the hair falls off, it's on the ground laying there, it looks like a rolled up armadillo cat? You don't have to accept that. Why should you have to accept raptor claws and other like ugly, disgusting trends? You don't have to accept that. No, you can get more feminine elsewhere. That's the reality. Now they understand that we understand it, and now they understand that we've made up our mind, we're leaving. That's why on my channel, I post passport bros, especially those who are getting married with the marriage photos, the marriage videos. I love posting that because all it does is back up my argument. So it says the passport bro movement could be seen as an annex to the same inner peace and happiness concept. A group of black men who don't feel needed and admired by black women looking for love overseas. They travel to different destinations worldwide and find happiness with a partner of the opposite sex. A lot of these other countries don't even have divorce. Some of these countries you might go to, you might meet the love of your life. There's no such thing as divorce. The American liberal feminist strags think that that's trapment or entrapment or kidnapping and blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares what they think. And that's the reality. See, there's some men cower and let these women overtalk to them, especially on these TikToks. No. Y'all need to learn how to raise your voice. You've been beaten down. You've been henpecked for too goddamn long. Don't let anybody overtalk you. I learned that a long time ago. You don't let anybody. I don't let my parents overtalk me. Nobody overtalks me, especially my employees. Second one of my employees tries to overtalk me. Hey, here, buddy. Here's a pink slip. Get the fuck out. It's just that simple. So no. Y'all need to find your voice because I think y'all forgotten what it means to be a man. In some cases, some of y'all back down. I saw this video recently, Amber Rose versus Murder Mook or some shit. And this guy was trying to be respectful, and she's up there shouting the dude down. Had that been a man, that you know how that would have turned out. So why should it be any different? Anyway, black women and other women of color in America have gone into their TikToks and social media accounts to speak against the passport bro movement passionately. Black women in America also have so much on their shoulders. For many, this movement is the straw that broke the camel's back. Why are we singling them out and saying that the straw that broke the camel's back? No, the straw that broke the camel's back was when you got that ring in your nose and there's boogers and snot all over it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. The straw that broke the camel's back was when you destroyed the nuclear family and ruined these households. I keep telling the story. I have an uncle. He's been married 11 years pretty much at this point. He got married in 2011, went down to Dominican Republic. I flew down to Dominican Republic and watched his wedding and married a Dominican woman. They have been married a solid since then. They've been married since November 2011. How many of these American marriages have lasted for that long? That's at least 10 years. How many of them? Most American marriages fail within 2 years. Some of them within 5. They've been married 10. He's got 3 kids, healthy, happy, going to school. They get the best of everything. They've got a huge house. Why should you accept less? Why should you be somebody else's plan B? Why should you accept sloppy seconds? No, you don't have to. All you got to do is go to the us.gov, go to the passport issuing agency, and I think it's up to $200 that you're going to pay because you got to do the shipping and handling. I do expedited shipping because I want my stuff to have the signature and everything. Let's just say $200. I like to round up. $200 for your future happiness. Is $200 worth that much to you? Some people pay $500 and $600 for a PlayStation 5. $200 is all you need to find your future happiness. And then not only that, besides Passport Bros, there was also that show 90 Day Fiancé, which was specifically about men who had gone overseas, met women, and basically wanted to immigrate them to the United States. Now, 90 Day Fiancé tried to focus on the negatives of it, but the reality is there's a lot of positives and there's a lot of happy stories that they try to ignore because if you don't ignore them, it totally destroys your argument. Most of their rebuttals are that the Passport Bros are weak black men that don't know how to court strong black women. Some women believe that the Passport Bros' true intentions are to have sex with foreign women and they're not searching for love. Now, keep in mind, as I keep saying, I emphasize marriage. Every Passport Bro that gets married, I am completely interested in seeing their story. I'm completely interested in using their story. That has nothing to do with sex tourism. Now, what the women don't talk about is how they're flying down to Jamaica and flying down to the Caribbean and flying over to Africa so that they can get some long slinging brother, Dexter Jackson, who's spinning himself around in his hand. Hey, lady, let me come back to your bungalow. What you doing down here, lady, by yourself? Hey, let me come down to your bungalow so I can help maybe give you a little love constantly. Yeah, exactly. That's right. They don't talk about none of that. They don't talk. See, the female sex tourism completely gets ignored, mostly because it's post-wall invisible women. So it's not that they're just ignoring it. It's just that nobody cares because nobody is looking for them anyway. The reality is they do the exact same thing that they're projecting onto these men who are Passport Bros. So let's just keep that in mind. We've got video. Let's see. Other women have gone as far as to say that they are emulating their white masters who have been notoriously known for colonizing and going to third world countries to find submissive wives for decades. Some women stated that they're getting foreign women at the exchange rate, as foreign women only want those men for the little bit of money they can give them. And they aren't falling in love with them either. Black women who are anti-Passport Bros have called these men scum predators and in some cases pedophiles. Okay. It looks like she has a lot of, what is this thing? She has more hashtags. I guess these are links for something. I don't know what these are. Let me just see, is my name in there? I hope my name's in there because like that helps get more views. I just see a lot of usernames, but it says International Passport, Passport Bro, Philippines, Filipina Girl, Austin Holloman. Austin Holloman's here. Wait. Where's my name? I expect to see my name here. What the fuck? Where's my name? If my name's not here, I'm going to be very angry. But anyway, maybe it is here. All I got to do is keep on pumping these videos. See, the thing about brother Austin Holloman is in Brazil right now. And the thing about it is he's the new face of the Passport Bros because he's young and they can't call him old. They can't call him dusty. They can't call him bald. They can't call him ugly. And they hate that. They really hate the fact that the young brothers are seeing the old men teaching them lessons. The lessons that these women tried to keep the men out of the household so that they couldn't teach these young brothers. That there's more to life out there than what you see here in America. There's more to life. There's an entire planet. It's like 24,000 kilometers in circumference. 12,000 kilometers in diameter at certain points. They're trying to teach these brothers that there's more to life, and they don't want you hearing it, but you're going to keep hearing it. We're going to keep on making these waves. We're going to keep making these waves. And where am I? Even more interesting is the feedback from women in other countries. They are going to their TikToks in support. These are the women in the other countries supporting the Passport Bros, like Filipina P, stating that some women in the Western world don't know how to treat their men. Some say American women lack femininity, and when these men get to these countries, they treat them like men should be treated. They proudly speak on their traditional values and beliefs, even if they aren't from countries such as the US or United Kingdom. However, a group of black men also speak against Passport Bros. Those are called simps and cucks. Those are the plan Bs. Those are the stepdads, the cleanup bros. Just so we understand who we're talking about. Those men are the weakest of the weak. As Tywin Lannister once said, we lions do not concern ourselves with the opinions of the sheep. Those are the weakest of the weak. And the strong do eat. However, a group of men called the anti-Passport Bros, we call them the Passport Hoes. There's Passport Bros versus Passport Hoes. These simp men are part of the Passport Hoes, claiming that they're just a group of guys with no game. Oh boy, here we go with the game shit. I hate this shit. The fake game dudes are a bunch of broke YouTubers who are angry that they can't sell their stupid nonsense courses that they threw together in 5 minutes, that they copy pasted from somebody else. Nobody's buying their bullshit. Nobody's buying their nonsense. Nobody's buying it because we've seen another way. We've seen that this passport is power. So nobody's paying them any attention. And not only that, the few of them that do have women, when they do cam their women up, their women look terrible. There's a couple of these losers that I would love to name, and they talk about how they accept open relationships. No, loser, you're being used as a cuckold. You are in a polyandrous cuckold relationship. You are a cleanup bro. You are the stepdad. You are not doing anything other than financing another man's orgasm. That's what you're doing, Mr. Game Dude, Mr. Game Guy. Your game is as worthless as a Nintendo without the plug in it. Or, similar to what the black women were stating, the Passport Bros are a group of liars. Oh, now we're liars. Now, guess what? We've got 4K video we're shooting on our cell phones, showing you the countries, showing you these vacation spots, showing you the receipts, showing you the women. They've got Passport Bros speaking in tongues now. Dudes speaking, black men speaking Brazilian Portuguese. But they're lying. We got the receipts, but they lying. They got the wedding rings, but they're lying. They got children in other countries married to their women, living it up in other countries. They are having buko juice served to them on the beach by their younger Filipino wife, or their younger Thai wife, or their younger Vietnamese wife, or their younger Cambodian wife, or their Chinese wife, or they got South Korean Passport Bros on YouTube right now showing you the receipts. But they're lying. They're lying, right? Yeah. Right. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. They're lying. Your thoughts? Well, I'm definitely going to type something in the comment section. No matter how you slice it, the Passport Bros movement will continue to grow. One of their Facebook groups has over 10,000 followers. And in fact, I just joined one of those groups today on Facebook, in fact. Men of all ethnicities and tax brackets are taking to social media and expressing their personal experiences to the rest of the world. I love to know how you feel about the Passport Bro movement. Is it positive for black men to find love in other countries, or is this just another excuse to get laid without putting on work while undervaluing black women? Please sound off in the comments below and be on the lookout for our next article when we get to speak on one of the vocal leaders. Oh, please. Listen, anybody who wants to do a collab about Passport Bros, I don't care if you're a Passport hoe or if you're a Passport Bro. I'll do it. I'm going to light that mic up. So that's it, basically. This is Travel Noire. This is why some black women aren't happy with the Passport Bros movement. I will post the link to this so you can go to this and you can sound off to our Pena. But that's what it is, guys. This is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for Passport Bros to hit mainstream. When you hit mainstream because either the news is talking about you or Whoopi Goldberg and The View is talking about you. Of course, they'll be talking about you with disdain. And there'll be at least one of them that'll be like, oh, well, I have no problem with it. If these men want to go overseas, that's their right to do. Because there's always at least one of them who has to say that. But usually it's a backhanded compliment. Oh, well, if they're not strong enough to deal with strong black women, then they might as well go to one of those countries and get themselves a soft, feminine wife. Like the one that men are attracted to that, do stuff like, cook for them, clean for them, keep a clean house, keep the children, well-to-do and this, that, and that. But y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all want to talk about, all the ladies, independent, throw your hand up in the air. All the ladies getting money, throw your hand up in the air. Charlie, how your angels get down like that? Tell me how your angels get down like that. That's what y'all want to talk about. Y'all want to talk about this nonsense. But you know what Jerome Powell's talking about? Jerome Powell's talking about raising these interest rates a little bit more. Jerome Powell's talking about every single time you pull out your credit card, it might cost you 10% interest from now on. Jerome Powell's telling you might not be able to pay your revolving debt that you've got on your credit card because now your student loans may be paused under Joe Biden. But once the Republicans put their foot up in his ass and they ain't paused no more, Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve talking about, you're going to be paying. Not only you going to be paying, you're going to be paying for the rest of your natural lives. The computer on my desk, I bought it. The light in my fan, I bought it. The TV on my wall, I bought it. All depends on me, I bought it. All the ladies, independent, throw your hands up in the air. All the ladies, getting money, throw your hands up in the air. Tell me how your angels is down like that. Tell me how your angels is down. Y'all think this is a game. We're going to show you ain't no game.
When I think about this Passport Brothers movement, I can't help but to see it as a form of a slave trade movement. At the end of the day, it's these brothers seeking out foreign women who they would like to be their beautiful sex slaves in exchange for breadcrumbs. All women basically need three things: security, stability, and communication in a man. These foreign women, these men feel like they can find less financial responsibility. So that knocks out the security. By them speaking a foreign language, there's less communication, so these men don't have to hear her mouth. Then with the distance in between them, these brothers have the ability to be unstable and cheat and not be held accountable as much. So they want a submissive woman, but really they just want an obedient as a slave woman for financial dependency, which really is just breadcrumbs. It's disgusting.
That's some bullshit.
I will always love you. I will always protect you.
No matter what happened, I will always be there to support you for your success.
And now, presenting for the first time as husband and wife, Derek and Rachel.
We have always put God first, and that is what we will continue to do in our marriage. We will rewrite the stars and tell the world, tell our beautiful Blasian babies what mommy and daddy did today.
Like, where does the guy with the passport card think he is going? Hi, that was me. I got the card and the book. I'll use this to go get your cousin since she hasn't made it over here yet. Is that all right with you?
The cost of an adult passport as of 2022, I believe, is $130. But y'all won't pay for a dinner date at Applebee's for 2 for $20 because that's gold digging if she expects you to pay, and she should split that bill with you. Y'all will buy a plane ticket to go to another country to pay a woman or a femme-presenting person to have adult relations with you, but won't go to therapy because that's a waste of money. But you won't go on dates with women that are not exclusive and having adult relations with you and pay for things for them because you don't want to be used for your money. You won't pay for a matchmaker or a lifestyle coach to help you work on finding a woman that would be a suitable partner for you. But you will go to another country and pay a human trafficker or a PIMP to give you access to someone that's probably underage to exploit them in order to get yourselves off.
4 signs of a low-value woman. The 4 signs of a low-value woman. First one, she operates a lot in shame. What is shame? Shame, noun, a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by consciousness wrong or foolish behavior. A low-value woman uses these 4 things to control, manipulate, dominate, get her way, check people, whatever you want to start off. And her first thing is shame. Taking case in point, let's say some of the things when women come to my channel, here's a shaming tactic. They use shaming tactics. Your mama black. You hate women. Shaming tactics. Shame, shame, shame. Shame is one of the 4 major arrows of a low-value woman. It's part of a low-value woman's pathology. You cross the board. I don't care what you have on paper. When women operate in these areas, they diminish their value to low. Because if you really have a good argument, you should not have to shame somebody. Shaming is just a way to get control of the conversation.
In this entire video, right, you're proudly holding up your passports as a flex on American women, specifically black women that are no longer co-signing to patriarchal BS and the misogyny that is a lot of you black men in this country, in order to show us that you have options. Much like when y'all ran to white women and said that they were the preferential women, much like how y'all ran to every other non-black woman and said that they were the preferential women, you may have found a couple of outlier black women pick-me's that were in their feelings, but the vast majority of us did not give 2 collective fucks rubbed together. But tell me something, incel black men, you red pill popping, podcast watching, pathetic excuses for men. Tell me this. If y'all are so desirable, right? If y'all are what every woman wants, why y'all got to go so far and work so hard and spend so much money just to find a woman to lay down with you?
I will love you for the rest of my life.
To be continued.